Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
That's right. Welcome back.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Way That I Love You podcast. I'm your host, Will Music.
And I am your host, Sherona.
And we are always excited and delighted to be amongst our family in podcast land.
That's right, baby.
That's right. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I just want to let y'all know that we are a hot, sexy marriage podcast. And we talk about marriage, our marriage, life's ups and downs, and how we navigate through that thing.
That's right. You and I, baby.
You and I.
Hashtag secure love.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all, we talk about our marriage. We talk about the things that we go through and how we apply tools that we come up with. And we apply it in our marriage, and we give it to all of you to apply in your marriage. Now, listen. You don't have to do it our way. You can do it your own way. Make it special just for you and your loved one, right?
Hey.
And if these tools can help, that's great. But if they can't, that's okay. Just put it in your back pocket and give it to somebody else.
Ooh, yeah.
So, we are in season 5, episode 9. Did you hear my bones crack?
That was your bones?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Season 5, episode 9, Trust or Retreat. And so while we're doing this, before we get in, we just want to thank all of you that tune into the Way That You Love You podcast. I got a little hit us out. So we love you every week. They know who they are.
North America.
South America. Africa. Asia.
Europe. And Oceania, baby.
We see you out there. We love you all on the Way That I Love You podcast. We thank you for tuning in each and every week on the Way That I Love You podcast, because you belong in the relationship of the Way That I Love You podcast. You belong with us.
Yes, we are on this journey together. Forever.
Yes. So we thank you all once again. Tune in to the Way That I Love You podcast on any of the social media outlets. With all streaming platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Alexa, wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
Social media follow us on Facebook,
Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Wherever you podcast, we are there.
That's where we are.
That's right. So I'm so excited to jump into this episode, right? So I was a little bit ahead of my time.
Ahead of your time?
I went ahead and started talking about the episode before we give our shout outs.
Yeah.
So it's season 5, episode 9, Trust and Retreat, Trust and Retreat, the Moving On Challenge, part 2. So I got to put part 2 on there. So we don't have part 2.
Oh, yeah, we don't. You want me to take care of that?
Yeah,
I can take care of that. Let me take care of that.
Yeah,
I got you.
I want it to be right.
I got you.
Fix it.
I got
Do
you.
it.
I got you.
Fix it.
I got you. I
That's
got you.
loud. So, if you listened to us last week, it was Love and Marriage Moving On Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
The Moving On Challenge. And on that particular one, we talked about the hurdles that you and I got through on our journey together for the last week when you did the podcast on your own.
Yes.
And so, but the tools that we used to get back on track, and we took those tools and we applied it. And even though we were going through, we took certain tools that said, as we go through, we're not going to stop doing this.
Right.
We're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop making love. We're not going to stop going on dates.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to stop kissing and hugging, because those are the things that make up who we are in our relationship.
And like you said in the last episode, it helps men the healing process. You know what I'm saying? It's like that in between healing that's mending the relationship.
And like I said, this is the tools that you and I use. If it's not for you, that's fine. I just know that I am here for my marriage. I'm here for my man.
I'm here for my woman.
And we are going to do whatever it takes.
Hallelujah.
It's really loud, babe. Whatever it takes to get us to the point.
I can adjust that.
Yeah, to get us to the point of relaxing in our marriage, to being secure in our marriage. And I do know that when you put halts on things because you're upset, and we talked about that little thing in your marriage may seem big at that moment. It may be a big thing. Your emotions are running just, all out of order, and you're like, I'm very upset and da 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 da, and it seems like a big thing. But as like we talk to our children, you're like, babe, this is not a really big thing. It's going to pass. And so we've decided to not make little things big things. And even if it's big in that moment for us, we're going to identify it, but we're not going to allow it to stomp our growth.
Yes.
And so we gave you tools on that particular episode that we used that week in the last 2 weeks to, us talking together one-on-one, checking in. I think we didn't really kind of go in on checking in, but we can go in on checking in, how we checked in.
Right.
On this particular episode, checking in on one another, going on dates.
Yes.
Wearing. I told you all that I wear lingerie when we go on dates. I put that on just as a motivation. It's a tool.
And it works. It worked. It worked, and it still works.
It works.
Yeah.
And so those are the tools that I use to, just to put. It's just a tool, and it works for us. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. But I'm saying, hey, if you want to take some of that, what I'm giving, what he's giving, and then the tools that you gave the week before, babe, they were spot on.
Nice.
They were really, really good tools. So, listen to these things, y'all.
Yes.
Apply it. And, if you want to get to know us on a smaller level, and you want some insight, and you want some coaching,
on a deeper level,
contact us.
Yes,
contact us because we do couples coaching.
Yeah, we are marriage relationship coaches. Right. So you can go to our website, thewaythatIloveyou.live, and click on the Let's Chat and send us an email, and just give us. You don't have to give us full detail. Just let us know that you want the coaching, and then we'll reach out and then work it out from there.
And listen, we're not here to, and I told you last week, my marriage is not up for a spectacle. We're not here to entertain you all. When we do tools, we're doing tools. We're using them ourselves. We're using them.
Absolutely.
We're edifying our body. We're the first partakers of this, and we do not have a perfect structured marriage. We have a pressing marriage.
Not only am I the president, I am a client of the Hair Club. Some of you may recognize that reference. Some may be too young to identify, but
we press towards the Most High in our marriage, right? And so we use those tools, and it works for us. Yeah, and it makes us happy, and it doesn't divide us.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It multiplies us.
Yes, it multiplies and motivates us to move on. Season 5, episode 9, Trust or Retreat.
Trust or Retreat. Now, this is part 2. So
part 2.
We talked about, I wanted to say the love and marriage moving on challenge. When you move on, the next thing you have to do is trust. Now,
and you're faced with that option. You could either trust or you could retreat.
Yes. How bad you want it?
How bad do you want it? How deeply rooted do you know that you are meant to be? Do you trust or do you retreat? Sometimes it's a battle. It's a struggle because of the emotional aspect of it. When you just skip the spiritual part and just full on emotion, you juggle. Do I trust or do I retreat? Do I trust or do I retreat? And it's a struggle. It can truly be a mental struggle. But as the order goes, spiritual, emotional, physical, and always maintain that closeness. Those are the tools that I spoke about in that one episode. But if you identify and put it in order, put it in perspective, how we talked about putting it in a godly perspective, where you can identify it, on the spiritual side of things, the struggle won't be, the question will present itself, but the struggle won't be as intense when you look at it from a spiritual aspect, emotional, and physical aspect.
Yes. And what I noticed too is that it doesn't matter how big or small the issue is. for us individuals, we've all had that thought. It could be something small. It can be something like, you're going through something. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this.
Right.
And I know when you hit 40, ladies, it's like, I'm 40. I'm not.
Yeah.
We're not doing this in my 40s. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this in my 50s. I'm close to being like, no, I'm not doing that. And so it comes to, do I trust or do I retreat? And the retreat is the thought process of maybe, I don't know if I really want to do this again. I don't know if I want to make up again.
Right.
Because in the marriage, you're making up constantly. You're always making up. This is the thing. Get in it. We're always going to be making up. We're never going to not be making up. We're never not going to be upset with each other. We're never not want to look at each other sideways.
Right.
This is the thing. We're going to. And so you have to trust that once you go through that thing, that if you have to go through it again, you learned something from it the last time. Not, I trust that I'm never going to go through it again.
Right.
Come on.
Right. That's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
That's not
realistic
realistic.
goals. We did that as well, right? That's not realistic. So some things, if it's a big thing, you're like, okay, I'm never going through this again. But if it's the things of communication, the things of
stuff that you consistently and constantly need in a marriage.
Right.
Those kind of things.
Right. The trust in a marriage, the communication in a marriage, the solidification in the marriage, the secureness in the marriage. They're going to be the things that you're going to always talk about.
Yeah, those are constant.
They're constant. And so you can't say, I'm tired of talking about these things. You're going to talk about it. If you talk to someone that been married for 50 years, they're going to tell you. And it's not until that they don't come up against it, they just deal with it in a different way.
Absolutely. If you talk to a seasoned couple, and that just brought me to when we went down to see our family down south, and we were talking to our uncle, and what he said that he now does, which is hilarious. But like his thing was just simple as doing a couple laps around the house. And my uncle he's well up in age. He's senior, but full of wisdom. So like when you spend time in your marriage or in your relationship, and you come across certain things, you get better at dealing with it, because you, like how we talked about in the last episode, you have your why, the why that you're in it, the why that you're doing life together, the why that you're doing marriage together. So you understand the why, which makes you be more innovative in your marriage to come up with different tricks and tips and tools, and the tools that we put out there for you that you can use. Yes.
So the trust or treat, this is Halloween season, season. And so we know that relationships can be kind of spooky, and so there are challenges, and there's like, uncertainty about, what's going to happen, what's happening, suspense, right? And so that's why if you look at the cover, cover is like so like
got the little eerie background, and it's trust or retreat, kind of like a play on trick or treat.
What do you do? And so there are times that I feel like that I would want to retreat, like, and it's not that I want to retreat from you. I just want to retreat from the situation. Right. I don't want to go through this particular situation. I don't want to talk about this again. I'm tired of talking about that particular situation. And it rears its ugly head in different ways, right? So it may rear its head in I'm gonna say different ways. So I can't really put my finger on just exactly how, right? But and then it affects other parts, and we talked about in our relationship.
Yes.
That when we're constantly talking about something and we get, and then one thing is over, like you said, love, commitment out of order, it rears its head up in this area. It can rear its head up in your bedroom. It can rear its head up in, at your house, on your job, the quality time. Is different ways that it comes up because it, and then you want to retreat because you recognize that thing and you feel like that thing now it's moved on to a different part of your relationship. And so, but if you have decided to say, you know what, we're going to work through it, you have to trust, then you have to let go of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to absolutely let go of it and trust it wholeheartedly, completely.
Give it to God. Trust it. Trust the tools that you're using to, feed.
Yeah, and this is where you can trust God and put Him to the test. And you know what I mean? Like now you're not dependent on your trust. You're dependent on the trust that God gives us, that He makes available for us to trust in Him for situations as we need to come to Him with all our burdens and our cares and our worries. So now you're exercising another level of trust.
And trust is one of the things that is hard to do, especially if you've been hurt in a situation. It's the thing that you look over to your spouse and you're like, I'm scared. Like, I want to trust you. I want to move on. I want to take you at your word. But, and so how we've talked about, all I have is your word. That's the only thing. I think sometimes we want to get so deep when we're talking to someone and you're like, okay, and they're like, well, I'm sorry and I'm going to try to do better. The word is, I'm going to try to do better. You can't say, I'm going to be better. No. You can't secure me that you're going to be better. Like, I would not take that from you because I know that you're a man.
Right.
And I know you're going to fail. Somewhere along the line, you're not going to meet my expectations. So I know this about you. And so, but the word, I'm going to try to be better, it puts it in a better perspective. So the tool, what I would say is, don't tell someone that you're going to be better. I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try my best.
Right.
And so they can receive it as, hey, if you let me down, it was a decision I made. Like I told you, hey, if we move on out of this pocket here, it's not just on you. It's the decision that I've made because I know that you used the word, I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. I'm then releasing my insecurity part of it,
right,
to some extent, right? To say, okay, this is not just on you. And it takes the burden because one thing can't be on one person.
Right. And you can't, like you said, you can't, and as men, fellas, we can't say, I'm going to be this.
And it's not just men, so don't just say men. So because women,
Well, women too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying men from a man's perspective.
Okay.
But yeah, women too. You can't just say, I'm going to be this. You know what I mean? We don't know the day, the hour, nor the time of an event that's going to happen in our lives. We're living life faithfully. We, by faith, assume we're going to see tomorrow. So keeping that in perspective and being real with one another, you can only try. You know what I mean? And with that trying, the trust that you have that you're going to try rests on the powers of God to navigate that, help you navigate through it.
And it rests on the security of that person not feeling burdened by what you're saying.
Right. Because it won't be an empty words that's being said. So
it feels like, okay, I know for me, and I can only speak for me. And if I tell you, hey, babe, I'm going to try to do what I'm going to try to do it. I'm not perfect, so if I do it wrong, and we just had that conversation the other day. It was, the thing that we're getting over and trying to communicate better in the area. And I said, oh, you're doing that. thing that you do. And you said, hey, but you were supposed to let me know ahead of time. And we kind of got deeper into the conversation, but it was like, hey, if it rears its ugly head, let me know so that way I can nip it in the bud right then and there. And so even though I told you I don't want to be the meter reader of that particular, thing, I decided to trust you, forgive you, or, move on and journey with you. Then I am then responsible as well to some degree. I'm not going to take it all on.
Yeah.
But to some degree, like you said, let me know. You asked me, hey, let me know when this is happening. I'm going to try to recognize it. And so trying is an active word. It allows you to keep getting better, to move on. And so if someone can help you along the way, I'm your helpmate. So I'm helping you along the way and helping you to identify things. I'm not just a helpmate for, our home, our children.
Being domestic.
Right. It's a spiritual helpmate. It's an accountability helpmate. There are things that we do. And so when that part gets hard, I think people want to retreat from that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to helpmate constantly on certain things. And then that becomes weary.
Yeah, and you touched on something about retreating from the situation, and there's also another side of that, the extreme side of just retreating from the marriage. You know what I mean? And not wanting to do the marriage. So don't allow yourself to get into that space. Again, having a strong foundation from the beginning, knowing the why. That retreat to go through divorce or whatever shouldn't be an option at all. The retreat from the situation that's what you're looking at. That's how it's being communicated or saying. But it's like when you get into a space that you've done all that you can do, and this is where the trust comes in at. That's all you have is to trust.
That's all you got.
And you have to own it. You have to take it for face value. Trust is trust. No doubts in your mind or anything. You have to trust and go through that process and allow God to work.
And be accountable for your own trust, what you're putting on the table,
and
what you're going to trust in.
accountable.
You can say, there are times that I'll say, well, babe, I'm trusting you for this, but I'm not there to trust you. And if you're not there to trust that person for a particular thing, but I can't trust you for that yet because I have to deal with some things, some trust issues. So I can't trust you in that area yet because I'm working on that area so that I can truly trust. But in this area, we're going to work on this area. So compartmentalize the things that need to be worked on within yourself. So by you knowing the things that I need to work on, if I'm not moving on in the area, you say, you know what? She doesn't have it all together. She can't, she's having a hard time moving past. So it won't be an argument.
Right.
It won't be like, why can't you move past? I said X, Y, Z. You are now being accountable for the things that I have a hard time trusting in.
Yeah.
And that's the marriage. That's the trust or retreat. You're not retreating from it. You're trusting that, knowing that, hey, I'm signing up to be a helpmate for my wife in the areas that she has a hard time for.
And if it happens, you exercise grace.
Oh, there you go. That's the tool.
Grace is the tool. You have to exercise grace and give each other grace in this process. Because if you don't, it's only going to frustrate you more. It's only going to make ugly things come out. It's only going to escalate or make things worse than what they were. And now you're getting further and further away from utilizing tools that can be repairing instead of chipping away.
Right. And what does grace look like? I just want to touch on that. So grace look like when you're exercising trust or retreat. Grace looks like, hey, we just talked about this thing. And then 3 days later, that person drops the ball. Grace is, hey, like you said, I didn't see that I was doing it. Let me know. grace is, okay, this is what's going on. I'm still going to give you a kiss and say, hey, I got you. I'm here. I understand. Do better.
Right.
Do better, but we're going to give some grace because I accepted the challenge, the moving on challenge. We didn't talk about that. I accepted the moving on challenge.
Yes.
The trust. I didn't retreat. I accepted the moving on challenge. So with the moving on challenge, I have to now give grace.
And I'm going to implore you all to use that particular term in your times. Use the moving on challenge. Say, babe, all right, we understand each other now. I know what rubbed you the wrong way. You know what now rubbed me the wrong way. We, even though it rubbed each other, one of us the wrong way, it was just a simple misunderstanding. So now this is the moving on challenge from this.
Now you can hashtag that. He's like, hashtag this.
Now we can hashtag the moving on challenge and apply it.
Right.
And stick to it.
And so when we say moving on challenge, somebody might say, well, you're going to move on. No, I'm moving on. I'm not allowing one thing to hinder everything that we've built. It's the moving on challenge. We're better than that. We're going to move on. We're going to go forward. And so it doesn't mean that you're going to be good at it, right? You're not going to be good at it. Not the first go round, second go round, may not even be the third go round. You may not be good at it. But if you continue to practice it, you're going to be okay at it. And that's okay. That's just I'm okay with the moving on challenge. I'm not a seasoned, advocate of the moving on challenge. I'm not there yet.
Right.
I'm okay with it.
And I think of, I just had an analogy that the Lord dropped in my spirit of the moving on challenge. And this is a tool, y'all. Definitely use that hashtag the moving on challenge. I see it as a highway.
Hashtag secure love.
Hashtag secure love. I see it as a highway with mile markers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you're on a highway and a mile marker helps you identify a certain point you're at and you're traveling on the highway on this journey of marriage. So the moving on challenge, once you bring something up in that moment of the moving on challenge, it slaps a mile marker there to help you identify, okay, this is where we were at this mile marker point. Now, if it comes up again, remember, boom, we just passed this. Okay, now, all right, I see it again. Now I see it clearly now. Maybe it was just an indicator the first time. Now it happened. This is what I'm doing when it happens. Or this is what it looks like when it happens. Right. So now you have your markers. And before you know it, now you done traveled 100 miles and you're closer and closer to your destination of fulfillment.
Yes.
So the moving on challenge, definitely use that as a tool.
So there you have it, y'all. So we talked about on the first episode of
Part
Love
one.
and Part 1, Love and Marriage, Moving On Challenge, talked about being in love and creating a balance within your marriage. That was the Moving On Challenge Part 1. And then Part 2 was trust or retreat. After you move on, you've decided you got to trust what you said and your word and let the other person know that, hey, I'm in it. And you can trust me, and we don't have to go back and forth about this thing. And if you fail, to some degree, I'm here. We know that everybody's situation is different, but if you want to use these tools that we've got, that we use, and these are not perfect tools, y'all, but these are tools that help you through, and it helps us through. But take this right here, right? So you want to move on to that too, the moving on challenge, taking those challenges, using, like you said, using it as the markers, right? And so we just putting that out there. Yeah.
Because you can, like we always say, it's join the community of marriage, join the Way That I Love You podcast, and go to our website, check out the events that we're doing or events that we are attending as well.
Yes.
And be a part of the marriage community, because we all help and support one another and we have fun together. And the whole thing is you can have a beautiful, wonderful, healthy marriage, you know what I mean, with healthy everything, healthy conflict, healthy conversation, healthy romance, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And healthy doesn't mean perfect.
And healthy doesn't mean perfect.
No.
Yeah. So once again, everybody, season 5, episode 9, Trust or Retreat. You heard it first. The Moving On Challenge Part 2. We're going to make that a hashtag.
Hashtag Moving On Challenge. Hashtag Secure Love. If you want to, get some special advice from me and Will, you can also go into your into our website, on our website at www.thewaythatIloveyou.live, and go into the Let's Chat.
Yep.
You can set up your appointments to do some marriage coaching. What we do, hey, we also are licensed to marry, so we're gonna be doing some marriages. If you want to get married by Will and Sherona, from the Way That I Love You podcast, and let us come up and solidify that thing for y'all.
Let's make it do what it do. Let's shake this journey together. Again, this is a real-time journey of our marriage, and we love to continue to take the journey with you all out there. Right. And just make it beautiful. Yes.
And if you're not married, you're looking to be married, if you want some one-on-one time to kind of work through some issues, let us coach you. We're here.
We are here. We are here. The Lord has blessed us to experience a lot and give us a lot to be able to pour out. We just want to be obedient to the Spirit and do what He has called us to do.
That's right. Well, baby, I love you.
I love you always.
Thank you for tuning in to the Way That I Love You podcast. I'm your host, Sherona.
And I'm your host, Will Music. And we see y'all next week.
See you next week. No, this week. We're going away.
We should already be away. All right, y'all. See y'all later.